free WagerTalk text club to gain access to free plays and exclusive discounts. Just text WagerTalk to 33222 to sign up and get a $10 coupon to use on WagerTalk.com.
Teddy Covers! It's Friday, last day of April the 30th. I'm Lawrence Presman, lacking hair gel today, Teddy. Didn't check last night. Yeah. It happens, bro. I'm getting old, I'm getting gray, and I need me some hair gel. Anyway, a great show today, man. Rob Veno, right off the top, we're going to look at the Bucks versus the Chicago Bulls, Washington and Cleveland, and we're taking a gander at the North Dakota James Madison football game. Skee after that, Lakers, Brooklyn, and the Wizards game. And Russell Westbrook, putting together a historic season. How did you do last night, Teddy? How are you?
I went 0-2 last night. Well, I went 1-2 last night. So I did get one win out of the bunch, but it wasn't pretty. I went out and watched the draft with some of the WagerTalk gang, some friends. Brian Leonard was there, and we went and hung out at the local pub for a couple hours and made fun of every pick, dude. I can rip every pick. We'll have fun with that, with what it bettors learned today, because you can literally, if you want to, easy enough, give about 80% of the first round grades an F.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm no Mel Kiper, so I can't grade these picks. We got to see what happens, but I do believe Jacksonville got it right. What did we learn, Teddy?
Yeah, that's why that's the one team you can count on got it right. Now, whether Trevor Lawrence ends up being a great pro or not, we don't know. But as far as the draft choices go, that was the right pick to make. After that, okay, there's so much silliness in terms of what we learned last night. We learned how hope springs eternal. It's like the pundits. And again, if you watched the WagerTalk show last night, you got some good info. Maybe there was a handful of technical difficulties, whatever. You got good info. If you watch the mainstream media coverage last night, every single player drafted is compared to this Hall of Famer and that Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
Every team made the right move. And anyone who they didn't like, the Raiders make a reach for a draft choice. Oh, it's the worst first-round pick ever. All right. Everybody gets it wrong. All right. The GMs get it wrong. The scouts get it wrong. The college coaches get it wrong. The NFL coaches get it wrong. The pundits get it wrong. So to have these guys with confidence, every year, oh, he's the best prospect ever. Like they're throwing Hall of Fame. Oh, compare him to Deion Sanders. Shut up. It's just shut up, dude. Note that the NFL win totals are up before the draft, and they don't really move after the draft. So I guess what I learned last night is general draft bitching. But the reality is, Prez, there is so much fluff. And I swear none of these guys have watched college football. Rob Veno watches college football. We'll ask his opinion about some of these draft choices in just a few minutes. What did you learn last night?
Well, Teddy, a few things. Number one, I learned that I'm never going to watch the draft again. I learned that last year and forgot, but now I'm actually writing it down. It was just brutal television. I'm sorry, man. The fanfare and the lights. And I mean, Jacksonville took like 30 minutes to make their first pick when everyone knew what it was. And they mocked LeBron for the decision. Man, that NFL draft is just as bloody bad. With that said, I made a bet on the NFL draft, Teddy, and I won it. Actually, it was remarkable. Literally 5 minutes before the draft begun, I got a text from a buddy of mine who plays in the NFL, and he said Chase is going to the Cincinnati Bengals, take under 5.5, and bam! Logged into the The show last night, Rob Veno and those guys did an incredible job. Put it up there for everybody, and we all cashed that one. So that was really great. Yeah, go.
I was just saying, Matt Josephs came on the show yesterday, gave us 3 plays, 2 of the 3 won. He'll take that any day of the week. Slater over, Fields over.
Yep.
Both of those cashed. Devonta Smith over, did not cash. We saw the 2 running backs in the first round go. That was good. Yep. That was something we talked about on the show. You got a plus price on the 2 running backs. So hopefully we gave you some good info over the last couple of days that was able to make you some money.
Dude, how about the Atlanta Falcons offense looking this year? Ridley. Now they've just added what now, Teddy? What, my brother? Talk to me.
So, again, if you want to rip picks, it's easy to do. Kyle Pitts is an incredible talent. If you look at Atlanta and the holes in that roster, and you say,
especially
their biggest priority has to be a playmaker on offense. No. That's not. They have 14 other holes to fill, and they got another shiny toy. And I get it. He was the best player on the board. But if ever there's a team that's like, we should trade back a couple of picks. Let's let somebody want. I'm sure they were fielding offers. If ever there's a team that could have done that, even if Kyle Pitts is a star, that's not their position of need. So no, the Falcons did it wrong. Every team did it wrong, except for the Jets.
I'm not suggesting that they did it wrong or right. I am saying what an offense they're going to have. But yeah, dude, I'm amazed that they didn't go for a defensive end or a linebacker. They are in dire need of some good defensive players.
Be honest, Lawrence.
Difficulties, and we had them during puck time as well, and it's going to happen. One of the guys tweeted out after the puck time show, all upset about the technical difficulties. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. We're allowed to have these technical difficulties. We got the best freaking producer on the planet in Joe Ranieri, and if there's technical difficulties, it's YouTube's fault. Anyway, Teddy, before we get into Rob Veno, who, by the way, Teddy, hasn't shaved, which is insane, considering like a month ago we spoke to Rob about how he's never unshaven. Teddy, I won my 5% last night in hockey. And in keeping with the What Did You Learn segment, I learned I'm getting way too old for this. Dude, it was, I had over 6 goals. It was 5.5. It was 5 goals with about 7-8 minutes to spare. I'm watching the clock's ticking down. Goalpost, crossbar, goalpost, missed empty net. Chicago tied it up with 15 seconds on the clock. I jumped out of the couch. I went ballistic. And then I got a massive head rush and had to lie on the floor for 15 seconds because I was seeing stars. Yeah, I'm getting too old for this, man.
Let's bring in Rob Veno. We're already behind.
Rob, great work on the show last night, man. Thanks for giving your time to everybody. You guys, you and Matt and Tony and Andy did such an outstanding job.
Yeah, thanks, Prez. It was fun to do it with those guys. We tried to just bring our perspective, and I guess I was listening to Teddy say everybody got it wrong, which is music to our ears because Joe had graphics which listed who we thought should have been drafted the first 8 picks, and we only got a couple right each. So the teams must have got it wrong. We probably had it right. I'm not sure, but
yes,
the trade out stuff that Teddy was talking about, I'm sure there was about 6 teams that could have traded back if there was a partner there, and instead of making the picks that they made. But we go on to night 2 and we go on to picks for today, fellas.
Rob Veno, everybody. And guys, before we get into the games that Rob's given out, yesterday we spoke about Dave Koken in NHL, college football, and baseball. And, if you play Dave in those 3 sports, year in, year out, you're going to make a lot of money. I mean, not a little, a lot of money. It's the same thing with Rob and his NBA. It's really not that hard to figure this all out. You buy Rob Veno's NBA, you play his NBA, you win money, and you win a lot of money. Congratulations again, man. What an outstanding season. Number 1 last year in NBA, number 1 again this year by a lot. We're so excited. And Rob, I don't know how you do it, man. Of all sports, I don't know how you consistently destroy the NBA.
Yeah, it's a good question, Prez. I mean, it's an inexact science, obviously, all of this sports betting, but the, applications that I have, the stuff that's important to me seems to work in the NBA. So I'm going to continue to do what I do. You get a dry spell every now and again, but it's been really great for 2 years running. So we'll keep doing it the way we do it and let everybody else do it the way they do it.
Outstanding stuff. Guys, please hit that like button for us. Thank you. Rob, Milwaukee playing Chicago. And, about a week ago or so in the What We Learned segment, I mentioned that I thought Milwaukee was going to go on a nice run. Now they're -1 against the Bulls. The Bulls really are in a must-win type of a situation. Where are we going here?
Going to go with Milwaukee, Prez. I think it's an overreaction to the absence of Giannis, which we've seen before this year, guys. I'm going to point that out right off the bat here because it's a pretty simple handicap for me. In the 4 games, and there's only been 4 this year, where Milwaukee has been complete as a team with the exception of Giannis. 4 games where they've had everybody except Giannis. They're 4-0 against the spread. That looks like how they're going to be tonight. Everybody available except Giannis. In that 4-0 against the spread, 2 of these just happened a couple of weeks ago. 124-87 over Orlando, a demolishment. 130-105 over Minnesota, another absolute easy victory. 140-113 over Indiana, and 100-90 over Cleveland back on January 9th. Rounds out the 4-0. So I'm not worried about not having Giannis. I'm happy that the point spread comes down to the overreaction to this injury. And you're right, Prez. Until last night, Milwaukee was on a pretty decent roll. 67% covers, 6-3 in their last 9. And the wins were big, 37-25, 11-7, 38-8. They've only played the Bulls 1 time this year. Vucevic was not on the Bulls, so it's hard to take anything from that game. But Milwaukee did win it by 30 at that time. The Bulls without Zach LaVine, 4-4 against the spread, hit or miss. 4-9 against the spread in their last 13. Scheduling's a little wacky for the Bulls. They just had 3 road games. 2 were in Miami. Now they come home. Prior to that, they had 2 road, came home, then went on the road. So maybe a little bit of fatigue here for the Bulls. I thought this line should have been -6 with Giannis. In my opinion, you get 5 points, or they took 5 points off it for his absence. And the Bucks' playoff chances to move up the ladder here a little bit, not as good as they were a few days ago, especially after that loss against Houston. But they have 2 shots at Brooklyn down the road here, so they can still make up ground. I like the Bucks -1 for the reasons I just mentioned.
So the Bucks have been lousy short favorites all year. I got them like 8-17 when laying 7 points or less. So this hasn't been their role. And Chicago has been real good at bouncing back off a loss. Even without Levine in the lineup, the last 3 losses, they bounced back with a win and cover in their next game. Do either of those two factors concern you here, or is the overwhelming or the overriding factor that the markets have overreacted beyond his absence, given Milwaukee's success without him in the lineup?
I think that's the overriding factor, Teddy, but I did consider Milwaukee's been a far better bully, so to speak, when they're laying. And Skee has pointed this out numerous times on the NBA tip-off show. When Milwaukee's laying, I think 9 or more, it's a far better role for them. They just crush people. And when it's in this vicinity, it hasn't been as good. But I do think that the value factor here is too much to ignore. A game where we're just asking Milwaukee to win. I think they will here against Chicago. So we'll see how it works out. But I think you're getting a pretty good number with the Bucks in this game.
Rob Veno, everybody. Rob, Washington Wizards are playing Cleveland tonight, and Russell Westbrook, I think 5 or 6 games away from breaking Oscar Robertson's record, which is impressive as hell. He is just an absolute beast. And this Washington team is really feeling it right now. They're playing Cleveland tonight. I know you want to talk about the total. Are we going over or under?
Yeah, I'm going to, ride the over train with this team right now, Prez. I think what we're seeing right now out of Washington is what they envisioned to start the season when they acquired Russell Westbrook to team him with Bradley Beal. They had not had John Wall to team up with him for quite a long time because of injury. But, injuries have hurt this team this year. I'll point this out. The Wizards are 3-1 over in their last 4 games. The reason why, narrow it down to 3-1 over last 4 games is because finally, we've got a small subset with Bradley Beal, with Russell Westbrook, and with Davis Bertans. Those 3 guys are huge components of this offense, and they've been injured in and out all season long. 4 of the last 5 games they've played have gone over this number, 227. That's important to me. And the Cavs actually have been over the number in 4 of their last 6. Last Sunday, these 2 teams played a 119-110 game. That's 229. Cavaliers without Colin Sexton, who it looks like will be back tonight, guys. Still a question mark next to him, but reading between the lines, I think we'll see him. Game went 119-110. Cleveland shoots 51.3% from the field against Washington's defense, which still isn't really good. Wizards, field goal shooting, been tremendous. 51.5%, 7 of their last 10. They're the fastest tempo team in the league right now with all the components in place. Cleveland shooting the basketball. How about 49% or better in 4 of their last 6? The other side of that coin, they've allowed 48% or better in 9 of their last 11. Been better offensively, lousy defensively. I think all those things add up here fundamentally to a game that gets up and over 227. If Sexton doesn't go, I still like the play, obviously. If he does go, this total's going up more than obviously. So if you like it, get it now.
And for what it's worth, we have seen some over money come in at the leading indicator books this morning. It looks like the markets do expect Sexton to play. I ran a quote from Jared Allen talking about how they were pressing in the 4th quarter to rally against Orlando. Do you think the Cavs press tonight? And if they do, obviously it's got to be pretty good for over better.
Yeah, Kevin Love mentioned that about 10 days ago, Teddy, that this team, he likes the fact that losses hurt them and that they have played all out in every game. They're not one of these teams that's playing to lose to, increase their lottery probabilities. They're trying to win games at the end. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do. It's a young group trying to build some type of culture. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they did in the 4th quarter.
Rob, let's talk college football. And, I really hope there's positive that comes out of this whole COVID experience. And, here you have an example where maybe we'll get spring football on a regular basis. I mean, they certainly don't have to play against Auburn, Alabama, LSU, not play against them, but be inside of their shadow. Let's hope this is something that happens on a regular basis. Anyway, North Dakota is playing James Madison today, tomorrow. How should we bet this game?
Well, I'm going to look to bet it under, guys. And I'll say first, what's left in this tournament, the FCS playoffs, the 8 games, this is really good competitive football. It'll be broadcast on ESPN this weekend. For those who don't watch FCS, I'd recommend it. A lot of these teams could do very well in some FBS conferences if they were involved in them. First separator for me here, first thing to look at is the strength of schedule difference. North Dakota comes from the Missouri Valley, the best conference in FCS football. They've played a rugged schedule. They've played 3 teams that are in these playoffs, or at least were in them when they began. They went 2-1 against that group. James Madison has faced nobody in these playoffs. Last week, they played VMI, was the first playoff team they had played. They win 31-24. North Dakota, the only team left in this group, guys, that sits in the FCS top 10 in sacks, least sacks allowed per game, and most sacks by their defense per game. So very good pass rush, very good pass protection. The only team that sits inside the top 10. North Dakota, though, the dome has been really good to them. They're going to get outside the dome here. And another thing is they've only faced 2 top 25 defenses all season long. Those games, their offense scored 28 and 13 points. Those games, the game total landed 45 and 47, which is well below this 52.5. James Madison, right now, it's the number 1 ranked defense in the country. So I think North Dakota's offense gets quieted a little bit here. On the other side of that coin, Madison has only faced 1 top 25 defense. That was Richmond. That game ended 23-6, only 29 points. That's well under the 52 here. Both of these are run heavy. The winner will probably be the one that passes it the best. I don't know if either passing game can really get it going here, but I think you'll see clock control, ball control, really good defense. Last week, they both had soft defensive opponents in their opening round wins. It's not going to happen here. I like under the 52.5 North Dakota at James Madison.
Love it. Ralph. Rob, great
I've got
stuff,
a pen
man.
like Ralph. There you go. Ralph.
What do you got to promote, brother?
I can promote the NBA. We'll have NBA a best bet 4%er up there within the next 30 minutes, one that I like quite a bit here. I'm going to put my FCS up tonight. They don't go until Sunday. They're going to avoid the NFL draft. So you can get FCS plays probably tomorrow. But for tonight, it's going to be NBA and the possibility for an MLB selection.
Awesome stuff, guys. If Rob Veno is releasing an NBA play, you got to be playing it. Also, Rob, yes. Teddy's got a big play going tonight. You're going to, I won't charge you, dude. I will text you the play with Teddy's permission on the house. Teddy, 5% baseball plays. Your first of the year?
Yeah, first one of the season. And this game absolutely jumped. James, sometimes games jumps off the page at you, and this one absolutely did. So I'm looking forward to cashing that 5%er tonight. First one.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to bet it, bro. I'm going to bet it. I got a good feeling about it. Good luck in that play, Rob. Good luck in your NBA play tonight. And thanks for joining us. Guys, we're going to take a quick 20 seconds. Teddy's big game breakdown coming up. Skee Profits, my penalty box segment, so much more. Stay with us, everybody, and please hit that like button.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. Let's talk about the San Diego Padres and the surprising San Francisco Giants, a team that has been a much bigger threat than most observers would have predicted going into the campaign. When we look at the quotes, let's start with Gabe Kapler. Quote, I've said all along, we can compete in this division. And he's been right. I mean, so far, the pitching has been great. The Giants rank second in the major leagues in both earned run average and whip. Obviously, when you talk about the advanced metric categories, they've been there as well. Starting pitching matchup, certainly you like Yu Darvish has already shut down San Fran once this season. Logan Webb doesn't come in with that same level of respect in the betting markets, and he doesn't have a great track record against San Diego. 16 base runners and a 308 batting average allowed, although limited work against them. But he pitched a gem against Miami last time out. Kapler after the game, surprisingly, I think there's another gear. So there's certainly some upside with Logan. But there's a couple of things that stand out. We saw the Padres get swept at home by the Brewers in the last homestand, and they won 3 out of 4 against the Dodgers and 2 out of 3 against the D-backs. A successful road trip. Now they're back home. So there's a sense of urgency there. And one thing we don't talk about in baseball, and I wanted to use this game specifically to highlight it, strength of schedule, especially in early season play. All we do is look at the records and say, oh, this team's good, this team's bad. When you look at some strength of schedule issues, the Padres have played 7 of their first 8 series against teams at 500 records or better, including the 2 series against the Dodgers. The Giants haven't played the Dodgers. They just played 2 series against the Rockies and 2 series against the Marlins. The Giants have been feasting on the weak, and San Diego's been playing 500 level baseball against the strong. But now the Padres take a step down. The Giants take a step up. The Padres have an ace on the hill. The Giants have an unproven guy coming off a gem against a light-hitting team on the hill. Put all these factors together, and I know it's not cheap. It's minus 190, even minus $2 on the Padres today. You can lay 1.5 and get a plus price, which you don't love to do with the home team, laying 1.5 in a game that's totaled 7.5. But it's a game I think San Diego wins, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if they won it by margin. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Thank you, Teddy. Great stuff. I love that play. And people, you can't be afraid of playing the minus 190s or the minus 200s. It's literally a value play. And Teddy likes it. I like it. So pull out the dough and play that game. Teddy, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. So Ralph Michaels put out a great tweet this morning talking about $3 favorites and how profitable it's been to back the $3 chalk for the last decade plus. The exception to that rule, early season MLB, March and April, the biggest favorites have not proven to be profitable.
I got to read that tweet, man. That is outstanding stuff, and we'll talk to Ralph about it next time he's on. He is so busy right now. It's absolutely crazy. Skee Profit, everybody. First, I want to apologize for waking you up this morning.
It's all good. I should have been up.
Yeah, it was about 10 minutes before the show begun.
I enjoyed myself at the draft last
jealous,
night,
bro. I'm jealous, Skee. When I heard your voice on the other end of the phone, I was like, oh, I want to be young. I want to be young, single, living in Vegas. I want to be Skee.
Well,
so
I don't go out that often, but I did go out last night, and I was enjoying myself. So that's kind of what you heard, the result of.
Well, dude, Teddy and I would trade for the chance to do that. I promise you. Let's get to it, man. Lakers, Kings. I know you're a Lake. Yeah, Teddy. Okay.
I did that already. I did that already, dude. I did that.
I want to do it again.
It was your problem. You got married super young and you didn't do it. I didn't get married till like I was 40 something, dude. I spent years enjoying myself
a
little bit more.
I got married at 30.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this. Can we please change the topic? Skee, you're a Laker fan. They're -8 playing Sacramento, a total of 2-2-2. How are we betting this game?
Well, for me, first of all, I love talking about the Lakers game with Teddy. In general, for what I found this year, I heard you guys talk to Rob Veno, and we all listen and learn from each other, but Rob has had great success, and I see that he waits on these injury reports to make some of these moves, and it makes perfect sense with the kind of season that we're having. So what I've been noticing is I have more success early on in the day focusing on player props, and just kind of waiting on the injury news. If the players don't play, you get your money back. So, and later in the day after the injury reports come out, shift to sides and total. So in this game, I'm looking at the King side, and I mean, no De'Aaron Fox. You're going to have Halliburton in an increased role, and looking at his last three games since he's been starting, he's been over his assist total, which is 7.5 every game. He had 8, he had 10, he had 8. Even when they got blown out by the Jazz, he had 8 assists. So I think it's very doable for him to continue that trend with all the minutes that he's getting. So I like him over 7.5 assists at plus 120 tonight.
So I want to ask this about this game, because the Lakers, not that Utah is not a defensive-minded team, but Utah was hitting everything, and the game ended up being very free-flowing in that regard. The Lakers don't have that many games of late where they're hitting everything and the offense is really free-flowing, so they tend to play lower-scoring, more defensive-minded games. Does that concern you here if you like this player prop over the 7.5 assists?
It wouldn't concern me right now because lately Lakers haven't been playing any defense. And that's why they're not covering and winning games, et cetera, et cetera. You're looking at the last 5 games, as I usually like to do. Lakers are bottom 5 defensive rated team. And I mean, that's usually the identity of them. So it doesn't bother me at all in this matchup.
Skee profits, everyone. And yeah, I know in the chat room, they're pointing out how bad my hair looks. I get it. I
think it looks fine.
Thanks.
And just to warn you, Prez, without a doubt, it's the first thing. Like if you click on the show, it's the first thing you're going to notice. There's not like, it's just you look like Meryl.
Well, I can't go get my damn haircut. We're in the middle of a police state COVID lockdown because, well, Canada couldn't be any further behind the rest of the world. Nets Blazers. I was on Brooklyn last night. Skee cashed that ticket fairly easy. Back to back for them. A huge total of 240. Blazers minus 1.5. What we doing in this one?
Yeah, I don't blame you for being on the Nets yesterday. The Pacers are just bleeding out as the season comes to an end. Looking at this game here, Blazers, they've covered 4 of their last 6. I want to say that they can continue to play good because they need to. I just look at a season whole, like they haven't been able to perform when they're playing the better teams. We've heard a couple players talk about it. I know Lillard has mentioned it. Right now, as far as against the spread, I have them as 5 and 10. Probably even worse if you're just asking them to win. Without KD, I mean, we've still seen this Nets team compete. They're 5 and 1 as a home dog. I know it's a short dog. They've been playing well lately. They've been covering. I would look for their side probably. But more so, I like the over in this game. Both teams have been playing with pace. Portland, usually they play a little bit slower, but they've kind of picked it up a little bit lately. Brooklyn, they always can put the ball in the basket, and both top 10 offensive rated teams over the last 5 games. I look at totals over 240 or at or over 240 for the season, the over 17 and 5. If you want to look at the last 12 games, they've gone over 9 of them. So I'm not going to be scared of the high total. Even on a back-to-back for Brooklyn, I think that means less defense. So I like the over in this game as my main play.
So there's a decent chance we're not going to have Harden out, obviously. Durant is doubtful, and now Kyrie has been downgraded. And they don't know if Kyrie is going to go tonight. He's not out or anything yet, but he's a big question mark for this evening. And I was reading some Steve Nash quotes, and it made me think this might be something of a throwaway game for Brooklyn on the second of back-to-backs. Do you get that sense here? Because the money right now, as we speak, is pouring in on the Blazers. The 1.5's gone. The 2's gone. It's 2.5 and still moving up based on the latest injury information. You're worried about this being a throwaway for Brooklyn?
Well, yes, Teddy. You're bringing up good points. And as Prez mentioned earlier, he woke me up. So I didn't catch that yet. So it does bother me. I will want Kyrie in the lineup. And I understand why the love will come for the Blazers. So maybe I need to take another look at this game.
Skee, real quick, I know you didn't plan on well, we got to talk Wizards Cavs, and then I got a question for you. We spoke about the Wizards and Cavs with Veno. He likes the over in this game. Are you taking the side or the total?
I really hate disagreeing with Veno. It's something I really would rather not do. But
have you seen his NBA record? Yeah, listen, it's tough. It's tough. When you know that someone is amazing at a certain sport, and Rob is just incredible at the NBA, it's you don't want to be against them, but in the same regard, you got to keep true to your own program, and you're amazing in NBA too. So I get it, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And before I disagree with Rob, I did hear him say that, and he gave me the credit, but it shouldn't be my credit. I got it from Teddy. I heard Teddy mention that how the Bucks do when
he
the spread
got it from me.
Okay, so we all just share with each other. It's okay. But to Rob's point, I basically just say that to say Milwaukee feast on the weak, and versus competition is a little bit different. I still think they're playing a weak team today. So I like his look today. So for this game in Washington and Cleveland, I'm going to try to make a case for an under. I heard what Rob said, but I look at this Cleveland side, and they haven't been like, this is a pretty high total for their games. I'm looking at the last 10. Only one of them have went over 227. I know they went over 4 of their last 6, but not numbers like this. The pace worries me. I would want Colin Sexton out. I heard Rob mention that. If he's out, you have a decent amount of points missing from the Cavaliers lineup. And they also play Miami tomorrow. Then I look at the Washington side. They've been playing towards unders lately, 6 of their last 9. Whenever they're rested, 1 or more days, the under is 27. And I think I wrote this wrong. I think it's 27, 19 and 1 going towards the under. They shot 50% the last 2 games. I think we see some regression from that. And they also play Dallas tomorrow. So, hey, if one of these teams is up, maybe they take their foot off the pedal. I would like an under in this game. I just think it's a little bit too high for the Cleveland side. And I mentioned that I want to look at player props a little bit more early in the day. If I was going to make the play right now without knowing Sexton's in or out, I'm going to look towards the Washington side. And I'll look towards Bradley Beal. I took Steph Curry 3-pointers yesterday. He's in a battle with Bill for the scoring title. And I know Bill saw Steph Curry's performance last night. He had 37 points. Bill averages 31 points on the season. His point total is 29.5. He's went over it 8 of the last 10. He's been over 30, 8 of the last 10. So I like Bill over 29.5 points. And if I had to play this total, it would be under 227 for me.
Let me ask you this. Would it make a difference if Sexton played or not for the total? Because right now he's, Sexton to me looks really like a 50-50 at this stage. Would you like it better if he did play or didn't play? The under.
Yeah, if he's out, I like it a lot more. If he's in, I would definitely hesitate a little bit more.
Skee Profits, everyone. Skee, I got to ask you real quick, and I know we didn't plan on this, but all this Chris Paul talk right now, plus 8,000. What, Teddy? What now?
I'm just, the concept of the media anointing Chris Paul as the MVP when he's not the best player on his team is stunning to me. I'm really interested in Skee's thought process on this.
Well, it's not, MVP is whoever's most valuable to the team, in my opinion. He may not be the best individual player, but I think his impact on the team holds the greatest value. So without Chris Paul, I don't see Phoenix being towards number 2 in the West. We haven't seen it before. They had Devin Booker before for how many years? I think you see Chris Paul go every single team and turns them into winners. So I think his impact is really great. I don't think he's going to be an MVP. I think it's pretty much wrapped up for now, but I do think his impact is significant.
Do we have time for me to disagree?
Go ahead, bro.
And again, it's just it's just fun. All right. But Devin Booker is the guy who did everything for that team in the bubble, built the momentum for what has happened this year in Phoenix. And Chris Paul walked into a nice situation and is riding Devin Booker's coattails. And not that Chris Paul's not good or great, but Devin Booker's the MVP of the team. And if Devin Booker's the MVP of the team, Chris Paul can't be the MVP of the league. That's my take.
Well said. Teddy Covers, Skee Profits.
I have 5 words for you. Or I don't know if it's 5, but it's a little bit of words. Just check Chris Paul's track record.
Oh, Chris Paul's, I'm not dissing Chris Paul, but the best player on the team can't not be the MVP.
All right. We'll just disagree.
Guys, we got to run along. Skee, thanks for joining us, man. What do you got to promote? Anything up for tonight for the clients?
I just woke up. I didn't rush and put anything up yet, but I am going to have some action in the next hour or two.
Excellent stuff. Guys, it's time. Best tune in the world. It's the penalty box segment. Where's the song? I'm live. Oh, yeah. Okay. First off, I want to just let everybody know in the chat room that, yes, I'm no longer speaking in the chat room. It's just too much going on during this show, and I gotta stay focused and give you all my best. Anyway, we got 4 hockey games going tonight. Yesterday's penalty box segment swept the board, Teddy. All nice. 4 of my plays hit yesterday. To recap, we had the New York Islanders under. I have been touting that under for 2 straight weeks. 4-0. Philadelphia over. Cash that. Oilers under. Easy winner. And the Carolina-Boston moneyline parlay, a 4-0 penalty box segment. And I'm going to try do it again. Let's go to the Winnipeg-Montreal game. Guys, there's 2 plays here. I like Winnipeg. I get that they've lost 5 games in a row, but they're a better team than Montreal. They're also 6-2 against Montreal this season. So they have dominated Montreal. And this Montreal team is riddled with injuries. No Price, no Tatar, no Gallagher, and on and on and on. They're really struggling to find any type of consistent goal scoring. They have no creativity on the ice. They're not the fastest team in the league. And this Winnipeg team has to right the ship. I get it. Montreal is going to struggle to score in this game. I give them 1 goal. Take the under. Take Winnipeg. Expected score of 3-1. Colorado, San Jose. We're going down the board. I like Colorado here. They've lost 3 games in a row. I know it's minus 300. Take them in regulation. This is a get-right game against the San Jose team who has seen their playoffs slip away. Take the Avs in regulation. As for the Vegas Golden Knights in Arizona, I'm staying away from this game, guys. I do like the over a little bit, but I don't want to get in the way of a streak. Vegas is just absolutely rolling right now, and I've missed most of their wins, so I'm going to lay off of this game. And as for the Anaheim LA Kings, I've been telling you all year, just bet Anaheim blind. They're 18-30 to the under. Bet the Anaheim Ducks under blind. We're going back to the under in that game as well. I love that play. I'm betting all of these plays. Teddy, great weekend, man. Great week, man. Such a fun week of sports. We got the Derby tomorrow. The draft's still going.
Yeah, and great info weekend. Again on the Kentucky Derby from Sig yesterday. If you missed any part of that, I know that he tweeted some of it out, but go back and check out yesterday's show where Sig will give you a really breakdown of the Kentucky Derby. I wanted to ask you about the Knights. I have a hockey question for you.
Yeah.
Is this a flat spot? All right. Is this a game where it's such a huge win that they came off? Yeah. What do they won now? 11 in a row. It doesn't smell bad.
Yeah, so it's interesting you asked me that question because we spoke about that on Puck Time, and I know Carm liked the Vegas Golden Knights. He mentioned that on Puck Time, and I understand everybody is racing to bet the Knights tonight. It is 100% a flat spot. Not only are they on an 11-game win streak, but they just beat their rivals this year, Colorado, in the last game. Now they got to go on the road, and they got to play an Arizona team that has lost 4 or 5 and have seen their playoffs slip away from them. With that said, Teddy, even though it's a flat spot, they are just so much better than Arizona, and Arizona is letting so many goals in. Arizona is letting 4 or 5 goals in a game right now. It's why I'm not betting this game, because on one hand, Vegas is clearly the right call. On the other hand, it's a bad spot for them, and that's why I'm staying away from it. If I had to bet this game, though, I would take Vegas in regulation.
And that's going to wrap it for the Friday edition of Wager Talk Today. I want to thank Rob Veno. I want to thank Skee Profit. Great guests, Joe Ranieri behind the scenes, my co-host, Lawrence Presman. And most importantly, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your Friday to hang out with us here on Wager Talk Today. Please, before you leave, give us a like, give us a follow. We'll be back again Monday morning, 9 a.m. here on the left coast, noon on the east. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com.
Later,
All
guys.
daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including $40 5% best bets. As an added bonus, all new users will receive $25 in wager bucks credited to their accounts, available for immediate use after their initial $9 Monday purchase. So make sure to take advantage of $9 Mondays at WagerTalk.com.